Perfect. So, how are you today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, what better way to start up a Saturday with someone as awesome as you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I love it.
Brunch after.
I'm sorry?
Brunch after, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then some shots, but we will see.
Okay. Or maybe mimos.
Or maybe both.
Maybe both.
Yeah. I love it. I mean, we only live once, right? So why not just do it, you know?
Right.
There you go. I love it. Yeah. So welcome to the show. Yeah, as I said, it is super amazing to have you here. And jumping straight to the interview. Tell me how your journey through acting started.
Okay. I have always been acting, more or less, like school plays and making stories with my sisters and cousins and presenting them to our parents and whoever else was around. Yeah. And in high school and college, I went more in the direction of dance. So I did a whole lot of dance, modern, contemporary dance, and theater. Around that time, my BA is in dance and theater from Dickinson, a little liberal arts college out in Pennsylvania. And after that, I actually I did a yoga teacher training. So for a while, I was mostly just teaching yoga and modeling a little just for fun. And then a few years ago, I just kind of noticed that I missed performing. And I was in San Francisco, I was in California. So the natural space to occupy was TV film, which I'd never done before. So I really started TV film 2018, I think was my first movie. And it was like a meetup group in San Francisco. I think it was called MMTV, if anybody's familiar, San Francisco folks. And they just get people together and create an entire short film, really short, maybe 2 minutes, in 8 hours. So from scratch, it's like a film in a day kind of thing. We don't have a script. We don't have anybody cast as anything. We just have okay, here are our actors, here's our writer, here's our photographer, and let's put it all together and make a show. Yeah. So I did that a couple of times. I was like, wow, this is really fun. I need to continue doing this. And before the pandemic, I was like, I'm going to move down to LA, really get things going. Summer of 2020. But that didn't happen, of course. Instead, I wound up staying home, nannying, hanging out with my family. But fortunately for me, that was a nice time to sort of settle and save money and not do a whole lot. So I actually moved down here into LA in October of 2021. Yeah, so not even a year. And now I'm doing, TV, film, modeling, whatever I can get my hands on here.
Okay. So in other words, you were doing everything.
I'm doing anything I can, yeah. And of course, taking class and meeting people. Part of the pandemic, one of the great things about being home was that I found an online class to take that was actually built to be online. It wasn't a class that was a live class and then transferred to online. It was a class that they already had established they're going to be using a virtual platform, so they knew how to work with that, how to set people up. Which was really helpful. I learned a lot through that class, the online actor training program. Anyone's looking for online classes.
There you go.
So that was also really helpful. And I think that it was actually kind of beneficial to get through all of that kind of stuff. The pandemic before I moved down here.
Wow. It is a journey.
It's a journey.
Such a journey. I love it. And what were some of the challenges, that you had when you were recently started? I mean, I think we all have them, but for you in this case, when you were, just catching, starting to, get some get some roles here and there, also with the modeling and here and there? Like, what were those challenges for you?
For me, I think one of the biggest hurdles was like deciding that this was a valid thing that I could allow myself to do.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a location, I grew up kind of outside Washington, D.C., in Virginia. And, you know, there's not a lot of TV film industry stuff going on there. So I never had the notion that that was like a valid career. People go into, you know, politics a lot in the area, lawyers, doctors, you know, any sort of business, but it wasn't like on the table to be an actor. It wasn't like, okay, let's do this. Even though I did a bunch of, you know, theater and dance as a kid, it wasn't like, yes, do that. It's a really good idea. So it wasn't until I moved out to California and started to like recognize that I needed that creativity in my life that I decided, okay, yes, this is different than what everybody else I know is doing, but it's what I want to do. So allowing myself to say this is a good idea, I think was maybe and it is a good idea, and I feel like now that I'm here, I'm finally like with a group of people. Like there's a lot of other people here that are just as excited and interested in the creative process. That yeah, it's just very wonderful to actually be in a location where it's like, yes, this is an acceptable thing to do, and it's great. Yeah. So my own brain was my first hurdle, but also just like figuring out how to get started, because like I didn't know anyone in the business. So finding that meetup group was really crucial. That was just sort of a stroke of luck. Like, I was on a modeling website, and I had never thought to do this, but then one day in 2018, I just put on the site that I also am an actor. And very quickly, someone reached out to me, Chris Price, if he's around on here, reached out to me and was like, you act as well? I have this script, maybe we could work on it together. And my modeling site is like one of those sites we kind of have to vet everyone pretty thoroughly before you decide to do any actual work with them. So I was like, yeah, let's talk about it, and let's have a phone call. And on the phone call, we talked about his script, but we also talked about MMTV, and he was involved with that. And we never actually got around to making the script that he was working on. I don't know if he ever did it with like another group or anything. But that's what got me involved with MMTV. And then from there, I got involved with another group, and then someone that I was connecting with in those various locations were like, told me about Actors Access and Casting Network. And then from there, then you got all of the, you know, submissions. You can see all the stuff that's happening. So that was useful. Yeah. So figuring out how to get started was a big hurdle.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, you were in Loon Lake, Contraband, Hellhole. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on if we check your profile on IMDb, which is badass, absolutely. But tell me, like, how you usually prepare a character. Now, I understand, of course, that depends on the role, right? But what usually sets your mind into this journey of creating a character?
So there's a few things I do when I'm, like, deep diving into a character. But I guess I would say, like, creating the backstory.
Yeah.
What are their parents like? What, one thing I like to do is, like, what's her favorite meal, or what's her favorite cocktail? One happy childhood memory, one, you know, sad or bad childhood memory that she might have. So that kind of thing. And then going through the sides and really taking a look at, like, all of the information that's in there, and what kind of clues are there as to her past, or as to scenes, or as to like things that happened that like maybe aren't explicitly shown, but like you can tell from the script. Oh, she, you know, used to work at a diner or something, and we know that because she was waiting tables or something. And then like creating the rest of the story around that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's say that one day I call you, and then I tell you, hey, guess what? I'm gonna play a character. Right now I don't have any experience at all. Probably like 10 minutes, and that was when I was 17, so that doesn't count. And but like on your experience, what do you think that are some of the things that I need to consider first before jumping into creating a character?
So in this scenario, were you given a script, or are you like making someone new?
I mean, they will give me of course they will give me a script here, but the thing is that I don't have any experience at all. So,
but you've been cast in this movie, and you need to create your character. First, genuinely like understanding what's going on in the actual script, and like, okay, I understand the setting and who I'm with. I understand all of the like individual things that are happening. Like, I meet this girl, and we have a conversation about ice cream, and then we sit and whatever. So just first generally understanding what's going on in the information that you were given, and then reading any information that the director gave you about the character, because they've probably got some stuff in mind as well. The breakdown, the character breakdown, and then reading all of the other characters' breakdowns just to see if there are any clues. So like, if I was cast as somebody's best friend, then I would definitely go and read that somebody's breakdown and be like, oh, like manipulative, scary person. I'm her best friend. Why am I being best friends with this manipulative, scary person? Or so that can like inform your decisions. Because if I'm attracted to a manipulative person, then maybe there was someone else in my past that like filled that role, and I'm like trying to create that again, and maybe subconsciously. Of course, I don't really want to be attracted to manipulative people, but it makes for better stories.
Totally. Okay. Now, what would you say that is one of the reasons why either an actor or an actress might get stuck when they are in this process of character creation?
Well, we get stuck when our brains sort of maybe sometimes shut down. There's like writer's block, there's maybe also actor's block, I guess.
Yeah.
But if you have, or you get stuck in your own thoughts, you know, it's really helpful to go and do a scene with other people.
Yeah.
Because if I'm working on a character myself, I'll have all the ideas, my own ideas in my head, but that's really limited. So if I go run that scene with someone else, they'll bring all their ideas too. And then maybe something else will come up, you know?
Okay.
And we get stuck in our own thoughts, I think, a lot. I do agree on that. And also, I would say that maybe that's because you wanted to make it as relatable as possible, you know, and you start to get like second thoughts that maybe I should put this, or maybe I should remove this and then add this, you know. So I think like whenever you're like in that process, it takes a lot of time, because you tend to be like, but what if I do this, or what if I put this, right? Right. Or like the desire to be perfect, which is impossible.
Oh yeah.
We're getting stuck in our own repetitive patterns. Which is something familiar from dance improvisation.
Yeah.
Or also acting improvisation where we just go back to the same movement over and over and over because it's familiar and we like it and it works. But wouldn't it be cool if we could try something different, add on to it? And same thing with a character. Like, you don't want to play, well, we do tend to, like, we have to bring ourselves to every character, but allowing each moment to be its own thing rather than like being the same moment over and over again.
There you go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, besides being an epic badass super actress that we all know, as we were mentioning before, you also do you have also done some modeling here and there. But tell me, like, how do you usually prepare before a photo shoot? Do you have a, I don't know, like a go-to song, go-to playlist, or you just like, what do you usually do?
Like right before, because a modeling gig usually takes a while to prepare for. Like, you'll connect with the photographer, decide on a theme, decide on where you're going to meet. Yeah. So that's all that stuff, like preparing what wardrobe you're going to have, what kind of makeup you're going to do, what kind of location you're going to be in, whether it's a studio or out somewhere. So that's all lots of conversation. But like right before, yeah, I usually do have to do my own makeup these days. So I will spend some time at home getting that, getting wardrobe ready, and then heading out. And when I'm home alone, I'll listen to, you know what I like to listen to?
You
like,
what?
I like listening to like Miranda Lambert or like Little Big Town, or like, yeah. Something that's like upbeat, but also, I don't know. I don't listen to a ton of music.
There you go.
That might be a scenario when I do, like getting my makeup and stuff ready and packing up. But you know what, to be honest, a lot of times it's like a very frazzled rush out the door. And then you do that when you get there.
And what do you usually do after? Like, what is the, let's say like the number one thing you do after everything's done, you finished, you're good to go?
I go eat.
There you go.
Actually, one key thing beforehand is that I don't want to be super hungry, but I also don't want to feel bloated. So finding sort of like good source of protein, like maybe a smoothie or something beforehand, to be like energetic and awake, but not like full and groggy. And then by the end of a shoot, I'm usually like, all right, let's go get a pizza.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like, at first when I started this, I remember that the first couple of models that I interviewed, they will always tell me the same answer, that after it they would go eat something, but like a pizza, burger, hot dogs, like all that, like all type of that food, right? So then one day I got like extremely curious, like, but why? And then they told me, well, it's simple. One, because you need to spoil yourself, and two, you can get like super tired, especially if you're doing like a photo shoot for either like a sports brand or something like that you need to kind of force the muscle or make it look like you are on the act. I mean, it's not only that you take a photo, that's it. I mean, it takes hours and hours and hours, and you need to change position, then you need to do this, then you need to force this arm, then the next one, then the legs, the body, everything. So trust me, once you're finished, you want to get a pizza. And I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, when you're done, like sometimes a photo shoot can be, 4, 6, 8 hours even.
Yeah.
And of course there'll be like food around, but you're busy and you're active and especially since I'm coming from the yoga and dance background, a lot of my shoots involve a lot of movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
by the end of any day when you're tired and hungry and ready to relax.
Absolutely. That's why we're gonna get today shots and pizza. I like that idea.
Exactly.
And I love it. And what is the pizza that you usually get? Like, what is your number one?
Okay. Well, I really like Neapolitan pizza.
Mm.
So I'm still actually I did find I think my favorite place here in LA so far is Pizza Antica or Lan I think it's just called Lantica, which they had a really good Neapolitan pizza. Um, ideally I'd be in Naples getting
Okay.
pizza, but you do what you can. There's also I have a favorite spot in San Francisco as well that I just can't remember the name of. And if I'm in DC, I will go to Two Amy's, which is one of my favorites, or Paradiso.
Mm. Okay. I like it.
Yeah, really good pizza in Los Feliz the other day. Los Feliz the other day. I think it was called Gemelli's Pizza. It was not Neapolitan, but it was just good.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
Where are you located?
Huh?
Where are you located?
Right now? In Mexico.
Oh, in Mexico. Okay, so not too far from California, but you might not be able to pop over and get pizza.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, of course. I mean, why would I do that when I got places here? Of course, that makes a lot of sense. But one day, as soon as I get the chance to go to LA, count on it.
Nice. Okay.
I'm once like I'm editing this for either YouTube and the other platforms. I'm gonna make sure to write them down. Like, okay, I need to go here. I'll check this. We got this. And
that's how you there. Yeah.
And then some shots. Anyway, now check this out. So if you had to describe a film, right? But this film, it's gonna be in which all of the characters you have played at the moment, like all of them, since day one until right now, will gather for your birthday. So basically, it's gonna be your characters and yourself for your birthday. Tell me, what would be the name of that film?
Do we all have the same birthdays? Is it like all of our birthdays? Or is it just mine?
Good point. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, we all have the same birthday? Okay.
Same birthday.
So I'm thinking I've got like Amber from Hellhole, who wound up being super jealous, but that was partially because of the cave, the gold mine that made her crazy. So she was crazy. Anna from With Myself, who's very open-minded and sweet. And who else do we have? Christina from Loon Lake, like very manipulative girl. Freya from Eternal Echo. She's very nice. So yeah, just a lot of people that are I would not exactly expect to just be hanging out together. So they all look the same, which is really funny in my head.
Yeah, that would be cool. Okay.
Title. Okay, so we're thinking about a title. Is that what you asked? Title?
Mm-hmm.
Title for this film? Or all of these together? I mean, they all have to have an affinity for chocolate, I think, and it's everybody's birthday, so maybe like chocolate lava cake could be the name.
Okay.
And then also that's like, lava, like a volcano, it's like all this bubbling stuff happening, and it's gonna explode or erupt, I guess, at some point.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Yeah, that sounds like a very interesting title. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah. Awesome. And what about if you had to describe your career, your whole acting, model, everything that you have accomplished here, but you have to describe it on a drink or a meal?
Drink and a meal. Okay. Oh shoot! I already used the food for my last answer.
You could use a drink.
Yeah, drink. I would say like, those cocktails that are kind of they're sweet, but then they have like a little pepper in them, like maybe cayenne pepper or like a jalapeno, but not like to make it super spicy, just to make it a little bit more on the edge.
Okay.
I don't know what it would be called, but that's the drink.
I like
It's
it.
like orange juice or like fresh orange with gin and what would be bitter? Maybe like lime and then the pepper.
I like it.
I don't know.
Okay.
Not a mix, but
I
if
tell
you
you
could
what.
figure out how to make those ingredients work, then something like that.
I'll tell you what. One day I'm gonna try, and I'll let you know how was it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
see what happens. Let's see what happens. I like it.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm
like,
to make one.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I like it. Now, like, what motivates you? You know, we all have those days in which, you know, we want to quit. I mean, regardless, how, if, you know, like, what I find interesting is that even though that perhaps everything is doing well, you know, you will, like, sometimes you will feel like everything is not working, that all that you have done is wasting your time. I mean, like, getting inside into all of this, yeah, let's say, like, toxic thoughts is way too easy. But for you, what pulled you back to it so you can continue this journey that you have been creating so far?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that we tend to get like bogged down sometimes because it is human nature to highlight the bad things, I guess, like the stressful things and the things that are hard, because that's helpful in a world where you are in danger of being, you know, eaten by a tiger. You have to like recognize and really be aware of the things that are dangerous and bad in your life and like protect yourself from them all the time. But things that are stressing us out now, some of them are very scary. Like there's a lot of very scary stuff going on in the world. But like on a day-to-day basis, I don't need to be scared of a bear coming in and attacking me. But my natural instincts are to get, you know, scared of, oh, I didn't get that role, or oh, I have to prepare for this thing or that thing, and I don't know if I can do it, and blah, blah, blah. But I think, you know, one thing that helps me a lot first, of course, is my yoga practice and my like practice of finding calm and peace in every moment, even when things are stressful.
Yeah.
And I think motivation-wise, like I'm motivated to find joy and find happiness in every part of life, even when that's like hard to do. And sometimes it is really, 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 really hard. It's something that takes work, and it's something that I'm constantly, you know, working on, finding happiness, finding joy.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And recognizing that, like, a lot of us think that we need to work really, 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 really hard right now and go through all this pain and suffering for some future happiness that's gonna like appear someday somehow. But that happiness won't appear for us if we don't practice being happy. You know, like even though we have goals and we have who we want to get to, and yes, that's great. Like definitely have those, but we can also be happy where we are right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's, you know, like one of the things that I do is that whenever I will get those moments, you know, that you question yourself, should you continue or not? You know, I just tend to be like, I mean, just trying to either do something else or just kind of remembering why like I started this. And I can totally agree with what you said, the fact that somehow they have taught us that it's okay, that you need to suffer now, so then when you're 60, 70, then you can be happy now. But then I was constantly questioning myself, like, but why not being happy? I mean, of course you can't be happy 24/7, that's impossible, but why not, you know, enjoy those moments of happiness, you know, like whenever, like in your regular day, you will get moments in which you feel happy and calm. So why not enjoying them instead of forgetting them, so you can have yourself the goal when you're 60, 70. I mean, life is too short, as I was saying, and probably, and you know, and it takes like 1 second to change everything. So why not make sure that at least when you're like at a moment of peace, enjoy it and keep moving forward, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
I love it.
Noticing the moment when you're happy, right? Because that moment when you're 67 years old, like, you won't be able to be happy then if you haven't practiced being happy before.
There you go. Yeah. And there are gonna be a lot of things that you wish that you could done back then, and now you are not gonna. Yeah. So basically, just enjoy life, you know.
Yeah. Which is hard. And there's a certain level of stuff that, of course, we all need. Food, shelter, community.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You know, at the end, I would say, like everyone. I mean, like at the end, I would say life's a bitch, of course. You know, and her stripper name's Karma. So.
Life. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also something we say in yoga. To live is to suffer, and we live in a body that has emotions and it has pain sensors. So we are here, we are suffering, we're going through it, but we can find our moments of happiness along the way, and practice the moments of happiness and peace and calm along the way.
There you go. And my last thing here, like my last question here. So you're about to premiere a recent project, right? Now, tell me like a little bit of it. Like where's it gonna be premiered? Where can we watch it? Tell me.
Oh, okay. Was that with myself?
Yeah.
I may have actually said that wrong. I don't know if it's premiere or just a screening, but they're gonna do a screening. They're supposed to do a screening in LA next month, but I guess it's being pushed for family reasons of some sort. I don't know what they are. But you can find it with myself. It is on, they've got an Instagram page, and they also have, of course, they're on IMDb. And yeah, that was a really fun project. That was the first project I did in LA, first feature film that I did in LA. And that was, so it felt like the first like legit big exciting thing that I did. So I don't know exactly the date when it's going to come out. I played Anna, who was kind of a best friend character, and it's a pandemic movie, so it takes place during the pandemic. So it's like there's like moments of comedy, I think, but it's mostly drama. Yeah, but follow on Instagram with myself and on IMDb. Like, you can say, I'm going to watch this movie. Or I want to know when it comes out. So yeah, do that.
Yeah, link in the description. I'm gonna put it. Yeah.
And of course, I'll follow me. So I'm gonna post about it. So.
Of course.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, what can I say? I mean, it is more than obvious that at some point everybody's gonna know about you. That's gonna happen. Human. That I mean, there's gonna be one day. You're gonna feel stressed because you're not gonna know where to put so many words on your wall. You'll be like, where do I put it now? Period. That's gonna happen because the fact that you're doing it because you love it, you like it. As simple as it may sound, we all know that it's not. That it can take years. It can take very hard moments and difficult ones. But the fact that you're doing it, you're making it happen, and you're showing us that I'm alive here and I'm doing it and I'm having fun at the same time. I mean, I think that's a proof enough for everybody to be like, I can do it as well. So that is super inspiring. And as I've been saying before, that's badass. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I also want to thank those who are watching right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this either later here on Instagram or later on YouTube, or if you are on the way to work, walking with the dog, or whatever you're doing and listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to first pause and then go follow this amazing, talented, badass actress that I'm interviewing right now. I mean, let's make her viral, let's make her viral right now because she's awesome. She's super badass. So, and before I send you off, I need to send you off with an epic, with an epic goodbye for someone with such a career as yours. So, if you have seen some of my episodes before, you know exactly what is about to happen. But if you don't, that's fine because I can surprise you. I love that. So.
I didn't get to the end of any of them. So.
Voila. I promise that one day we're gonna have live audience, but you know how it goes, pandemic. You know, we're still recovering. We don't have live audience, but we will at some point. Count on it.
Ah, nice.
Perfect.
Yeah,
and
with your actors, right?
Huh?
And then you can meet in person with the people your actors and directors, whoever. Yeah.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, have an epic weekend. Have an epic upcoming week when it's the time. I mean, just enjoy and keep spreading all of your epic vibes and badassness. I don't know if that word exists, but it does. But you know what I mean, right? And I love it. And thank you so much again. And I'll see you in the next one.
Yes, thanks, Dan.
Have a good one, okay?
Bye.
Bye.